Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV with your college basketball top 25 video plus some top 30 action. I'll get to that in a moment for you here on WagerTalk TV, part of WagerTalk.com, of course. And the reason I say plus is because there are three head-to-head top 25 matchups this Saturday afternoon and evening on the huge Saturday card. But there's also two additional games that are just a bit outside from making the cut, in which we have additional top 30 matchups right outside that top 25. So three official games and then two bonus games because if teams win, they probably will be in the top 25 this time next week. Just a quick reminder, if you're finding these videos useful here on Wager Talk TV, do me a quick favor. Thumbs up, a like goes a long way to keeping this great content free each and every day. Also, hit subscribe and hit the bell for instant alerts. You know when this video goes up each and every week here in the month of February. Also have content for March Madness, including maybe a Fade the Public style March Madness video. So hit subscribe and hit that bell for instant alerts, along with the daily solo free play videos Monday through Friday here on NBA and college hoops as well. And don't forget, comment below. I read all the comments and I reply back. Who do you like this Saturday in college basketball? Let's win together here on Wager Talk TV. All right, I'm going to go down here in order of start time. The first game is the biggest game, one of the biggest games of the season. Number 4 Marquette at number 1 Connecticut, 3 o'clock Eastern on Fox National TV on Saturday afternoon. Now, I don't think Marquette's necessarily the fourth best team in the country, but they're pretty darn good. In fact, they're 11th right now in the Ken Palms. UConn is actually third. Houston and Purdue are ahead of Connecticut in the Ken Palm rankings, and I agree with those. I think those are the two best teams right now. But nonetheless, still a very good Connecticut team. Third best offense in the country, 16th on defense. Marquette, meanwhile, 22nd on offense, 13th on defense. And both they play fast, 78th tempo. UConn plays extremely slow, 322nd pace. And as you know, the better team and the home team normally could dictate tempo. So I think you can make an argument that Connecticut and the under and Marquette and the over are somewhat correlated. Doing this video late Friday night here, I wanted to give you a little extra time to see the opening lines come out and see where they moved here into Friday evening. We saw Marquette open as a 7.5-point dog. UConn opened 7.5-point favorite. It has dropped to 6.5 now late Friday night, and we've seen money coming on the over, 147.5 up to 148. So once again, money on Marquette and the over, the initial move. I think that makes sense because once again, fast game favors Marquette, slow game favors UConn. Teams haven't played yet this season, but UConn does have conference tournament revenge from getting knocked out last year by a 2-point loss in March last season as a 4-point neutral court favorite. They won easily the regular season meeting last year at home by 15, but that was a revenge spot because they'd lost the first game by 6 at Marquette. They were favored in all 3 games last year, yet they lost 2 of the 3 outright, and 2 of those 3 did go over. So I think that's one of the reasons we've seen some money come in on Marquette and the over. Once again, I won't probably be involved with this game, but if you like Marquette, the over is correlated. If you like UConn, you might want to look at the under, as I think the pace is going to probably dictate which side comes out in this huge top 5 matchup at 3 o'clock Eastern. All right, next game on the board goes at 4 o'clock Eastern Saturday in the Big 12. Number 6, Kansas at number 25, Oklahoma, 4 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. And yes, Oklahoma barely holding on to a top 25 ranking. And they're going to have to win this game to stay in the top 25 because they lost earlier this week, a few days back on the 13th on Tuesday against Baylor by 15 points. A bad loss is just a 7-point dog. So once again, Oklahoma 25th coming into this week, already lost by 15 against Baylor earlier this week on Tuesday. So they will not be in the top 25 unless they can pull the upset here in this game on Saturday afternoon. Let's check the opening line and where it's moved so far on Friday evening here. Kansas opened as only a 1-point road favorite, and the early money did come in on the Jayhawks. Are now a 2-point favorite across the board. Money's coming on the under a bit, 143.5 down to 142.5, 143, depending on where you look. As far as the matchup in this game, these teams did play a few weeks ago, actually a month ago on the 13th of January, and Kansas won that game by 12 at home as a 6-point favorite. Both teams were awful from 3-point range. Oklahoma 30%, Kansas just 20%. A combined 9 for 35. Oklahoma shot just 40% overall in the game. Kansas 94% from the free throw line, 17 for 18, and they won that game by 12. One other thing that jumps out to me is Kansas only turned the ball over 2 times at home. Now they take care of the ball on average this season. They're not a turnover team, even though they do play up tempo. But once again, you got to figure on the road they'll probably have a few more turnovers than just 2 like they did at home in that game. That was a season best against Oklahoma a month ago. By the way, in that upset win against Houston a few Saturdays ago, 2 Saturdays ago, I had that here in this video. Not only did they win that game outright by 13, but they had 18 turnovers to 3, which is really remarkable. That's how good they were otherwise in that upset win against Kansas, against Houston rather. Checking the Ken Palm rankings for efficiency, pace of play, and whatnot. Kansas is still a pretty good team. I think they're a little overrated though, where they're ranked currently. They're only 20th in the Ken Palm. 43rd offense, 17th defense. This has actually been a better defensive team than people realize. Oklahoma 55th in offense, 23rd in defense. So both teams are better defensively than they are offensively. And I think that's one of the reasons we've seen the early money come to the under 143. I would agree with that move. I think the under could be worth a look in this game on Saturday afternoon. All right, one more true top 25 matchup. Then I'll get to those two bonus games for you as well. At 6 o'clock Eastern in the SEC on Saturday evening. Number 22, Kentucky at number 13, Auburn, also on ESPN. This is part of that back-to-back top 25 doubleheader on ESPN. Once again, Kentucky at Auburn. Let's first look here at the matchup. We've got Kentucky, a 17-7 team. Keep in mind, this is a team that had lost 3 straight home games, lost 4 home games on the season. They'd only lost 4 home games combined the previous 3 years combined. Well, they bounced back with an impressive win against Ole Miss. That was actually my free play on Tuesday night. I had a strong 5% winner Tuesday night, the only 5% play I've had all season. But my free play, the last game that just missed the cut, was Kentucky. I gave that out to everyone for free. So once again, a great reason to check my page on a daily basis for free plays each and every day. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. So the question becomes, does Kentucky keep the momentum going? These teams have not played yet this season. Last year, Kentucky blew out Auburn a year ago in February of last season, 86-54 at home, is only a 5-point home favorite. And they shot extremely well in that game, 56% from the field, 62% from three-point range. Auburn, a better team this year, now 20-5 straight up, and they've been fantastic at home, 13-0 straight up at home, and it's not misleading. They've won their home games this season by over 22 points on average. And of course, we saw another blowout win against South Carolina, home game on Wednesday, in which they won by 40, 61% shooting in that game. So they've got excellent momentum entering this game against a Kentucky team that's very talented, but has still lost 7 times this season. Let's check where the early money came in on this game. We saw Auburn open as an 8.5-point favorite, and it's holding pretty steady. I wouldn't be surprised to see the line rise a little bit. I think Auburn's the play here. It's a hefty price against a talented Kentucky team, but Auburn's been winning their home games once again by 22 points on average, coming off a 40-point win. Excellent momentum. They remain at home. I just trust Auburn as the more consistent squad in this one. So if you're going to play it, I would recommend laying it. The total opened 164, and that's been holding steady as well. So not a lot of movement so far on Friday evening, but I think Auburn is probably the preferred side in this game if you're looking at it. And by the way, they could be a very underrated team right now. I talked about how they're ranked 13th. Well, if you look at the Ken Palms, they're the number 4 team in the Ken Palms overall, which once again shows they're probably a little bit better than that double-digit ranking, and they move up, I think, with a win here. Kentucky, by the way, only 26th in the Ken Palm. Good offensive team, 7th most efficient offense, but Kentucky's problem has been the defense. They're only 104th. Auburn is 9th offense, 4th on defense. In fact, as we do this heading into Saturday, Auburn is the only team in the nation that is top 10 efficiency, both offense and defensive. That's how balanced the team is. I think they remain underrated. Take a look at Auburn minus the 8.5 at 6 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. All right, those are the 3 official top 25 games for this Saturday, February the 17th. I'm going to get to 2 bonus games that are just outside the top 25 in a moment for you. I always try to give you as much content as possible, as much handicapping information, because I know many of you are handicapping your own games, and yet another reason why you might want to check out those daily free plays I post, including my Saturday free play in college hoops right now. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. No NBA this weekend, but it is All-Star Weekend. I did a fun solo video on the NBA Slam Dunk Contest here on WagerTalk TV, so check that out as well. I actually do think there's a couple betting opportunities there, and I give you my recommendations on who I think will win in a long shot play as well. So check out that NBA Slam Dunk video. It was fun to dig into the data and produce that for you. But most importantly, my college basketball best bets for this Saturday are a must-have. You know, Saturday is the deepest card of the week in college hoops, and historically it's been my strongest day of the week as well. We had a losing Saturday last week, but before that we went 7-1. So before last Saturday, 7-1 the previous 2 Saturdays. So yeah, we got one rare down Saturday out of our system last week, and I love the card this Saturday. I have multiple best bets available for my clients at WagerTalk.com. Individual games are $25, or you can get all of them for just $29 with the multi-pack. That's the one-day special. But of course, if you're serious about winning, you really should consider an all-access subscription because it gets the cost down substantially, and it also guarantees you get every play every day. The rest of February, just $10 a day, no promo needed. Or the best deal is exclusive on my page only right now, a 30-day basketball combo, buy one, get one free. Quite simply, you're getting half price to get both college and pro hoops combined for the next 30 days and nights. Works out to just over $3 a play. No promo code needed. Check it out right now, along with those strong best bets for this Saturday and a bonus free play. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. All right, I gave you the 3 top 25 head-to-head matchups, but I want to give you 2 bonus games here on the way out. These involve teams that are just a bit outside from making the cut. Number 28, Texas Tech at number 10, Iowa State. That's an early tip-off at noon Eastern, not even nationally televised. But still, if Texas Tech was able to pull the upset here, perhaps they get ranked next week. We shall see. They're 18-6, and an impressive win earlier this week against Kansas on Monday night by 29 points. If they pull another, well, actually, it wasn't an upset. They were a 3.5-point favorite, which once again shows the rankings don't always coincide to the realities. Texas Tech is 23rd down to Ken Palm, 12th offensively, 67th defensively. They played a pretty slow half-court pace. Iowa State plays faster than you might expect, but they're the 3rd best defensive team in the country, 44th on offense. So this is a situation where you get the better offense in Texas Tech, but the better defense in Iowa State at home. So it's going to be a tough road for Texas Tech. I don't know if that Kansas win was enough for them to crack the top 25 later this week. These teams have not played yet this season. They played twice last year. Iowa State won the game by 34 at home. It's just a 4.5-point favorite. And then Texas Tech got their revenge, winning by 3 in the rematch. I think this Texas Tech team is underrated, deserves to be top 25, but it does look like a difficult scheduling spot here after the Kansas win and having to travel against one of the best defensive teams in the country at Iowa State here. Let's quickly check where the line's been moving here. We saw it open 7, and it's up to 7.5. I would agree with that early money. Once again, Iowa State, I do think, wins this game. But once again, 7.5 is a big number to lay against a good offensive team like Texas Tech. The over's bumped a little bit, 137.5 up to 138. Once again, Texas Tech is a play-on team for me. I just don't think this is a great spot for them at noon Eastern on Saturday. All right, one final game on the way out here goes at 5:30 Eastern. Neither team is ranked, but whoever wins this team, in my opinion, will be ranked next week because that's number 27, Utah State, at number 26, Colorado State. Or actually, I think I got it backwards. I think Utah State is 26, and they're at number 27, Colorado State. You get the point, though. They're both right on the outside looking in. What I do, by the way, for these additional rankings is I look at the additional votes in the AP poll. And outside the top 25, the next 2 teams getting the most votes that weren't ranked are Utah State and Colorado State. So nonetheless, whoever wins this game probably gives themselves a very good chance of being in those rankings next week. Colorado State 19-6, playing at home here. They're having an excellent season. Utah State even better, 21-4. They're 10-3 away from home. Colorado State, though, 13-1 at home this season, and it is a revenge spot for Colorado State. We haven't talked a lot about revenge on this episode because all these other games, for some reason, are first-time meetings this season, but this is a second meeting from early January 6th when Utah State won 77-72. They actually trailed at halftime. Colorado State blew a 4-point lead at halftime, came out. Utah State was only 5 for 18 from three-point range, but they made it up at the free throw line, 20 for 23. I don't think they'll get as many fortunate calls on the road, and this is a quality, strong home court, 13-1 Colorado State team playing with revenge after a loss last month. And it's also a situation in which Colorado State enters off a loss at San Diego State, but it was a quality loss. I know they lost by 16, but they were a 6-point dog in that game. San Diego State's playing excellent basketball the last few weeks. Meanwhile, Utah State enters this game off with 2 straight wins against Boise and against Wyoming. And I think the situational setup favors, once again, the home team, Colorado State, in this game. Let's quickly check where this line has been moving. It opened with Colorado State as about a 4-point favorite. And then early Friday evening, it's already up to 5 across the board. So the early sharp money has been on Colorado State, and I would agree with that move. We've also seen the total bump down a bit from 148 down to the 147, 147.5 range. That game at 5:30 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. All right, those are 5 of the biggest college basketball games this Saturday, but there are hundreds of games this weekend in college hoops. Saturday and Sunday is an excellent opportunity to make money. I know there's no NBA, but there's a ton of college basketball. That's going to be your moneymaker for the next 5 days and nights until the NBA resumes. So why not consider getting my best bets Took it on the chin last Saturday, a rare losing Saturday, and I bring that up because the 2 Saturdays before we went 7-1 combined. You know I'm bouncing back strong this Saturday. As we entered into Friday night, 5-2 this week alone in college and pro hoops. We swept the board 3 of the first 4 nights this week, and I look to have a huge Saturday. Get my personal best bets right now for this weekend on my page, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. One play is 25, or get all of my best bets with the multi-pack, a $29 special for this Saturday. But of course, if you're serious about winning, you should consider playing consistently each and every day. I am ranked number 1 since the basketball season began in early October in college and pro basketball sides combined, up over 70 units of profit. And it continues this weekend with a huge Saturday card. Once again, the rest of February is available for as low as $10.50 a day. No promo code needed. But the best deal is the 30-day buy one, get one. Get college, you get pro, you get pro, you get college. You don't have to decide. You get them both. Buy one, get one. It's an instant 50% discount on my college and pro basketball 30-day combo. Works out to just about $3 a play. No promo code needed. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Get there quicker with shortcut wt.buzz/SM. Once again, daily free plays as well. Go get that free play for Saturday. Get that free play for Sunday as well. It's a great way to build your bankroll and get some free analysis every day on my page, Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. Hey, speaking of free analysis, once again, the slam dunk video is up. First time I've ever done that. Have some fun with it. I enjoyed producing it. Check that out here this weekend. It's Saturday night. It's on WagerTalk TV right now for your viewing pleasure and your betting pleasure, because I do think there's a couple edges. I give you my predicted winner, the analysis of all 4 contestants, and the one I think the long shot that has a chance of cashing. Check out that slam dunk video. And don't forget, hit subscribe and hit the bell for instant alerts when all the videos and shows go live here on WagerTalk TV. Thumbs up, like, and on the way out, comment below. Real quick comment. It can be 1 or 2 words. If you have analysis, some games you like, even the better. Include those, your best bets. Maybe some of those mid-major games. We're talking top 25 here, but those under-the-radar mid-major schools cash just as green as the big boys. Throw in some analysis. Let's learn and earn together this weekend here on Wager Talk TV. By the way, if you're catching this in the morning Saturday, I will be hosting Last Call live at 11 a.m. Eastern Saturday morning, talking some UFC 298 with Kyle Anthony. Also going to have Rob Bino on, talking some college hoops along with Drew Martin, and I'll be breaking down some college hoops as well. So that's at 11 a.m. Eastern. But don't worry if you miss it. The replay is archived, as with every show, 24/7 here on Wager Talk TV. But we do have Last Call Saturday show for this weekend. Friday, I guest hosted Wager Talk Today with the Prez, and we had a great segment with Yanni the Greek about sports and stock market and financial investing, bankroll management. One of the better episodes we've ever had. So check out the Friday replay of Wager Talk Today as well, and all the other great shows here on Wager Talk TV. Enjoy the games this weekend. Best of luck, and I'll talk to you again soon.